Say hello to what was supposed to be a version of Cannonball. Cannonball was probably one of the difficult aliens, so I don't really blame AI for this one because um, Cannonball has a weird physical body, so it is honestly kind of weird for it to make. And most of the AI prompts, no matter what you do, they try to make things look human as closely as possible with the stuff you're asking. Some AI don't, and they actually listen to the things you're telling them, but a lot of them they don't listen, and they try to make it humanoid as possible, because most people ask is something humanoid. But if you say like alien species, they will make something alien species, but it's more like just ripping off other shit. But by any means, I want to use this. So first of all, I'm going to show you the hero version, and then I'm going to show you the one I would like. This is basically a character. If I could have a choice, I would put it in the Fist of Beyond show. Say hello to Cannonball. Cannonball is, and I want to keep the original alien trait for both of them. So the powers for this one will go into the other one I'm going to show you, but there will be a difference because I will be using those powers and I'll be adding some more abilities because it's a robot and I want to give him more abilities. So they will be kind of similar abilities, but have a lot. The other one will have a lot more. So let's get to this one. This one has the power of rolling up into a ball, just like Cannonball. Well, Cannonbolt. Cannonbolt is able to roll itself into a ball and bounce around all crazy like. This one, when it rolls around, the faster and through amount of abuse it gives itself, basically it hitting objects and other forms of things and other people hitting him, it makes built up kinetic energy. This keeps on expanding, turning him into a yellow glowing electric ball that gets powerful and stronger. Basically, this superhero will be able to break through any material just as long as he can get enough of power and get more people to beat the living mess out of him to do such things. He can also use this for physical attacks as well. The reason why he has these little round things on him, including his shoulders and his chest, is because these things he can use for those kinetic energies as well. Using them for a giant beam blast, using them for making spears, or shooting little tiny balls to roll around with him. Even using it to kick or throw. Basically, imagine you took a dodgeball and you put that much, and you had like a thing that was just made out of complete kinetic energy. Yeah, that would hurt. Be cheating. You also take a life, but hey, if you want to win dodgeball. Oh god. Okay. Either way, that is Cannonball. Also, by the way, I like to mention that because of this, I am also making sure that all these things are going to be hanging out the outside of him as he turns into a ball. So, in other words, he will be able to turn them into spears as well. Well, pointy spikes, if you may. So, yes, all these abilities. Now let's get to the one for Fist of Eon. So here we go. The robot version of Fist of Eon. Same robot design. I really just took the entire art design. Because again, they did AI. And I find, and my brother also agrees, that when it comes to AI, you cannot own AI artwork. You could use it to make your own artwork, like I did here. But you cannot physically own AI artwork and say you did this. Because that's, you didn't. You just text something and then it did the artwork for you. But this person has the same abilities as my hero, but with some added more. This person is not just able to remove them, like basically shoot them off. This person would be able to make any type of weapon, well, far range weapons. It will not be able to make swords because these things are not meant to stay still. They're supposed to be meant to move and hit something. So he shoots energy orbs. He can make saw blades or like basically anything, including he can probably make a chain for then he can throw it. This thing is meant to take abuse, so that means this thing is meant to take hits and hits and hits for days. Wearing the strongest metal in the world, in the universe of Fist of Beyond, and able to power through most things, even able to do kinetic punches, and also able to break anything. The only ability that I'm giving him, adding to the fact that I already gave him a more wide range of objects to make. This person is able to get so powerful with kinetic energy to the point that not only he can turn himself into a ball, but also he can make that energy and make himself bigger. Also, I'm also giving him the ability to make more of the air, make more of the holes that he uses to make the stuff. So basically, how much the other one can turn to like a type of spear spike ball rolling down, this guy can turn to a giant spike ball that has nothing but spikes rolling down a hill. So yeah, if you guys don't know what the Fist of Beyond is a show that is very old, but it's really good. And honestly, I have been really considering reacting to some old TV shows. Honestly, I may do it because I want to react to some old TV shows and just show them and just react to them. It's basically just a reaction on a show, what some people do on YouTube. So it is allowed. So, yeah, I just have to skip the theme song and can't let the music play at all, I guess, or whatever. We'll see how the series goes. Either way, hope you guys enjoy, and see you. So, as you guys know, that other superhero I showed you, his name was Cannonball. This one, just being a four-armed creature, his name is, well, Tornado Arm. For reasons you will understand. This guy can basically spin when he transforms completely, he has his legs turn tornadoes and he gets four arms. Four arms that when he punches people, it's electric tornado spin that hits people with extreme amounts of force. He can also control it so he can go in between multiple states. Then we have, well, this one is supposed to be the power from Accelerate. I am name him Blast. Well, I was about to say Blast Sonic, but that was the wrong name. I'm naming him Blast Wave, or other words, Blast Speed. This guy can shoot a vibrational blast waves, and he doesn't need to be running to do it. But this superhero continually does it to make itself even faster, or to hit projectiles. Honestly, I think this is one of my favorite add-ons. But shall we get to the other one? Then here we go. And now other ones that kind of got the same backstory. The guy got hit by the blast, and somewhere in the progression of time, the power started manifesting. This guy has power instantaneously, but it was bad. So this superhero is based off of the superhero I think we all know is based off of Upgrade. Ben's alien Upgrade is one of the coolest aliens that I could have done, and also I didn't know where to go with this. So I was like, you know what? Either way, I'm gonna go symbiote. So you know what? We're about to go Agent Venom in this bitch. Yeah. Agent Venom is one of my favorite characters from watching from a show, so yeah, this is gonna be real fun. So I'm taking Agent Venom's ability that he showed from a show where he took someone's armor and fused it into his body, giving him a chestplate armor that had his Spider-Man logo. This guy's story kind of fits for that description. You see, when he got hit by the blast, he instantly started transforming into this technology goop that didn't have a physical form, so he melted into a puddle, going unconscious for a very long period of time in the sewers. As he started waking up unconscious, his pieces were floated all over the place, so it took a while for his pieces to come back. But when they did, they came back with some old tech. Tech that he upgraded as his body parts were coming towards him. Him not having a temporary physical body, he had to makeshift his own body. So he took machines and tech from all over the place to make itself some form of a physical human body. Until he started learning technology a lot more and started learning how to make a machine that could allow him to turn into his human state again. This thing he strapped onto his chest that keeps his form from switching from both sides. Made it look like a regular suit, like a common suit they can never take off. For certain occasions, at least. But with this ability, he still has all that tech, but is now in this rock solid suit. And soon he figures out how to use it without it, going back to being human, but also transforming back into the technological goop. Having this super powerful armor that's built up of several technology and can constantly be added onto it. And the fun part is that when it takes over something like a vehicle, it does change color, but then he can instantly transform from the memory of those vehicles, kind of like Generator Rex. The more vehicles he can be attached to, the more he can turn into them, spreading his goop wide and far because it doesn't have any limit of how it can stretch. This is my superhero name, well, Tech Blob. Look, okay, it was either Tech Blob or or Virus Techno. No, we're gonna call him Technovirus. There we go. I changed it for you. Technovirus. Also, it kind of makes sense since he can previously just control technology, so he has what I like to call the second form of a technopath. Also, don't think I stopped there. Say hello to my Omnitrix. I decided to do, since I'm doing a whole bunch of Ben 10 stuff, might as well build my own Omnitrix. And I tried to look for some other colors. I actually did some research to find out what colors have they used. And they kind of use all of them, and I kind of realized that they're all the strong, brightest colors of them. So, I had a few colors to pick from. And since all of the colors were taken, that means that I had to go with yellow. So, yeah. So, obviously, all these Omnitrix are called something, and so I would like to call mine the Omnitrix. I don't know why, it just sounds cool. So yeah, basically this works like regular Omnitrix. Able to transform and, well, able to let you twist the dials for then you can constantly switch over which aliens. Obviously it would be, I'm more of a fan of the 3D projections. So it would be because I do love that. I love when Ben had when his Omnitrix evolved and he started having a 3D projection than looking at a picture. I was more of a fan of that than looking at a picture every single time. So yeah, I wanted to use that type of gimmick for this Omnitrix because I like that style more than most, and I think a lot of people can agree. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy this. And so here we go. We have the superpower that I took from Ripjaws. If you guys don't know, Ripjaws has a few abilities. One, having the ability to have a giant jaw. Two, to turn his legs into fish legs. And number three, having a giant light in his head. So, adding another power, I could give him anything water-based ability. Well, and I did figure out something really cool. So, in other words, he will still be able to morph his tail and his feet to be fused together. So basically, he will have a tail permanently, but also he'll have feet, and he can fuse them together to get more faster. But also, I gave him the power of water compression. Basically, he's able to kind of like manipulate water through his gills and to power and push him forward. Also, because of this, I'm actually giving him the fact that he can use a giant portion of his scales to manipulate water around him to be a bubble or to shoot like water bullets. And the light on his head, I remorphed it because the light in his head will not just be a light source. It's also something that can get brighter and brighter the darker he's in a room. So the darker the room, the brighter his head gets. And also, when he hits you with it, you get hit with a giant, like, light punch. Just. Next one is Wrath. Wrath being a very interesting alien. Wrath is an alien that he has the main ability. He is a wrestler, and he has strength, and he has claws. So what can I possibly add? Well, I thought of some abilities, but we're going with increasing the animalistic of what he's based off of. Animals have animal sense. So, because of that reason alone, I'm going to increase it to have visible sense. So basically, he's able to do what Toph does. She's able to sense things by the ground. This creature can do the same, sensing things miles and miles away. Also, by the way, I would like to mention that he will have metal claws, and with the added bonus of him able to create the claws from his own body, I'm also making it for then he can use that claw extension to turn to like a form of like make it bigger or make multiple of them. And also we can use it to make armor around him. Also, I said story-wise. Story-wise, for the aquatic one, he is more of sea-based, so his own lore was basically about... well, what can I say? He got his powers, and he used to live in a cabin, and now he has to live under the sea because he couldn't breathe. This guy's origin story is solely on the fact that he's a part of my Creature Terra. Well, I mentioned in a few other videos, Creature Terra is an island filled with people who are half human, half animal, and also filled with kaijus. He is one of the elite, like, defenders of that area, but also he is a giant forest gimmick. So basically, he has more of a goofy, serious complex to his personality. Also, the reason why he's the leader. Saying out right now, that's canon. Alien X. Now, this is the reason why it feels like I'm rushing, because Alien X was a really powerful one, and I wanted to get this one done. So, let me get to the origin story. Okay? And anyone who has a problem with the origins or the stuff, I'm trying to do things, just work with me, okay? This guy, yes, this is someone who, this is more of a god that died, and someone was trying to steal his power, so instead of letting someone steal, he sent it to Earth, sending it to a person who, giving godlike abilities, him having a giant spatial body, and having complete overpower, warping time, reality, and objects and other things. Now, by the way, Alien X has so many powers, I kind of look at power, I went on Google to search up powers that he didn't have, and then they say, oh, he doesn't have magic. Magic can also weaken him, so I was like, what happened if we took that away? I'm giving him antimatter. So basically, he's able to create antimatter to destroy anything in front of him. And I do mean anything. Anything that exists or doesn't exist, doesn't matter. It can be destroyed by him. So, yeah, that's my added power. I gave him antimatter. So, the next one, we have Wild Mutt. Sorry, it took me a little bit of a minute to remember the name. Now, by the way, yes, I use Ultimate Wild Mutt because a lot of people hate this Ultimate Wild Mutt because he can talk, and that's kind of it. So, I'm taking this form and turning into a superhero. This guy, I was going to give him a morphing transformation, like he's stuck in this monster form. But let's get to his backstory but basically he's stuck on this, but let me say this. This guy is actually named Frederick Miller. Frederick Miller related to Edward Miller. I named a person in my universe Edward Miller a while ago. Or some years ago. Someone in my universe is named Edward Miller. Either way, this is Merrick Miller. Merrick Miller is a complete savage. He is one of the greatest bounty hunters that have ever lived. Saying that, he became this red beast that is technically blind that uses echolocation. But not just that. I had to figure out abilities, so I handed over him the abilities of Storm's cousin. Who, if you guys don't know, her cousin is able to make these fossil-like bones and morph it around his body. That's what he can do. He can make weapons out of it, armor, whatever. And also, he just runs on 4 legs, so there you go. And now for the person who's the reason why this video exists. The worst as a supervillain. Here we go, and this one is actually called Disgust. Disgust is a very interesting villain. I wanted to get down to this one. I really wanted to do this one really bad. Disgust. He is a villain that is, well, if you guys don't know, the worst abilities is that he cannot be, you can cut off limbs, he's indestructible, he's like a movable Play-Doh that can't be teared apart, and yeah. So basically, he had a good family, he had a good life, but his power kind of worked in a very opposite direction. Instead of him having, the random powers, right? It got worse when he started getting diseases, and he didn't have good medical care. So it got worse and worse, to the point that he got every disease possible. His body started getting so defective that he started looking more hideous, to the point he got dumped by his girlfriend, his friends don't want to be around him, and anyone who looks at him now wants to throw up. So, yeah. Also, by the way, he can use the pus from his stuff to basically give people the diseases, and also his body's creating more diseases too, so, yeah. Basically, he can make disease, throw diseases, and he is a very much, and he has durability, and he cannot be destroyed now, so. First of all, we have the Ben 10 with the superpower I got from Stinkfly, but I'm naming him the Stink Bug. Why? Well, he still reeks. Either way, this person, I keep basically all of Stinkfly abilities stay, including I stick with the original version. I know a lot of people are going to say, why didn't you go for the other one that has a more of a superhero gimmick? Well, there's 2 reasons for that. Actually, no, there's just one. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Either way, this also has one ability that one doesn't have. That is Claw Butt. It has a claw, and that's what I want. Also, I gave it its flying abilities, able to shoot goop, and you guys are wondering what abilities that I give it. Well, I gave it a few. First of all, I gave him, basically to only, temporarily turn his body into the goop that he becomes, that he shoots out. So that means physically he will not turn to, a splattered mess, but it's just enough to let things pass right through him. Also, he can change the substance whatever he wants. So, to a sleeping goop all the way to acid. Also, his body is very much abhorrible and cannot be hurt by any poison or any form of what I'm looking for. Well, whatever, just poison, I guess. He cannot be affected by poison in any way, shape, or form. Also, he's not affected by smell because he stinks so bad. And his backstory is very simple. This man is actually named oh god, yes, I need to remember these names. I give them all the time. Froric Jamer. Froric Jamer, that's his name. Froric Jamer. And his backstory is simply that he was a very good father, actually, with a daughter and one loving wife. But soon his body started transforming, and to the point that his wife didn't want anything to do with him or have him near their own kid. But somehow he always got in the lines of saving people. So the word Stink Bug for his superhero name is not a name that he chose. It was a name that was given to him because how many times he was saving people. No one knew who he was, but people know this. He is he's a cool superhero when you're not near him. Usually people know where he is because you can kind of smell when it gets to a certain distance. I gotta say, rating this one, it's a 1 out of 10. It's pretty cool. As you know, it's a 5 out of 10. It's awesome. Next one, Gray Manor. Yes, I understand the fact that this is a problem. I understand that you guys are having a problem with the fact that this looks like a lightning type. And the fact that Gray Matter has his brain. First of all, the guy is named. Uh, Actually, I'll let you guys name him. I'll let you guys name the this one and the other one too. Actually, no, I'll name that one. Now, what's fun about this is that Gray Matter is just really, really smart. So, obviously, this one is another grown adult who is slowly transforming into a tiny microbot that basically he doesn't really absorb electricity. He has, like, he kind of does, kind of doesn't. So he has a certain amount of electricity, but that's only allows him to float, nothing else. Other than that, he's nothing more than a floating tiny thing that's incredibly, incredibly smart. What? The gray matter is literally just brains, okay? I'm not evolving them, I'm giving them the abilities. And technically, I could have done upgraded one, but the fact is that upgrade is more, he gets just more smarter. So yeah, there's nothing to take. Now to say hello to Ben Griffin. Ben Griffin is a person who lives in a very unique city that highly believes in ghosts. I said ghosts, believes in ghosts. And he was slowly transforming. He thought he was dying, but really, he just can. He just has ghost-like abilities. Every ghost-like ability, including able to see them. He's able to turn his body into a person, like a glowing purple, ghostly aura. And he has few ability. And also, I increased all Ghost Freak's abilities. Number one, he's not affected by the sun. Number two, he can use his gravity manipulation to anything that he wants. Number three, he can possess anyone he wants because apparently Ghost Freak couldn't possess most people. Apparently, and also the tentacles. Don't worry, I got you there. You see, he can also transform into a well. He can also morph his body into a tentacle-like being. Basically, he can make tentacles appear from make his arm to a tentacle, leg, or even his chest. And obviously, he can fly and everything. I had to increase Ghost Freak's powers because he had so many abilities to the point there was nothing I could add to it that wasn't me just overdoing it. So, I just increased them to the highest peak. So now there is no weaknesses. So, yep. So that is it. Ghost Freak, Ring Matter, and Stinkfly. Obviously, my most personal favorite is probably Stinkfly. Stinkfly is definitely cool. Yeah, let's do it. Say hello to Kyle Damber. Not Danvers, Damber. No, weird name. Big story here. He was actually part of my group with this girl who was. They were both teams. They were both very good and both very skilled at what they did. To the point people even joked about them finding the lost city of Atlantis. He was only using her to get good. Not to get good, but to find more treasure. For then he can have a reputation to uphold. For then that reputation would allow people to trust him and bring him onto his adventures more. She did her job, so he tried to get rid of her, but she was a little bit too feisty. They fall down to a lightning cavern, and he got in. In a cavern, their flare went off. Lightning blast shot up, went down, caused a cavern, and he technically was the only one alive, but no one knows where she is. May have a story that she died in the cave in, but next day he realized he had powers, the powers of the overcrystals. Overcrystals are what wizards and sorcerers used to use to handle their magical power. because the reason why it's called over crystals is because it goes above and beyond with power. Basically, this thing can take power of all and never have enough. And that's what this guy was able to do. He was able to take any energy and shoot it right back out, forming these crystals off of his hands and arm. But he also used his ability to tease heroes and villains, and also to basically beat people up. Including since he went into the killing business to take people's treasures and claim them as his. Having the power to use his claws to climb up walls, and even having incredible strength. But when someone really got him interested or mad, he would transform. Say hello to his monster form. What people call this one Tora. This creature is big, large, is able to morph his hands into Gatling guns or into weapons of any sort, even a grappling spear. This creature is, well, obviously is able to take amounts of energy and he has incredible strength, including he can even activate a more further power that is making him more bigger and more stronger. Most people who have worked with him, people have now called him the bad luck charm, because most people that he has worked with has never came out alive. But one day someone will find him. But is the woman dead? Is that he left in the cave? Is she not? Who knows? That's a question for the future. Okay, now obviously I kind of based this off of the new hero character for Brawlhalla. I had to, because oh my god, I love him so much. First of all, we have the power for Jet Ray. Jet Ray is a kind of an interesting Ben 10 aliens, but he only has the laser ability. Like, he can fly and he shoots laser. What do I do? Well, I guess also adding powers mean I can add something to the other powers. So I'm actually giving him the power to hold the laser and to shoot a giant beam out of his chest. Oh yeah, also he can do a jet fast sprint, so he can actually shoot and use his power into his body and just fly faster. So yeah. Then we have Chroma Stone. Chroma Stone was kind of an interesting Ben 10 alien to see, really. The only reason why I'm saying that this alien was kind of not as interesting as I was, well, not as more. Also, the fact that he may be just Crystal Jesus. Just plain to say Crystal Jesus. So Chroma Stone's ability is that he could. I don't think he could regenerate from when he was broken into shards, or maybe he could. Who knows? He also can shoot. Well, he can turn anyone's energy and turn into a rainbow light beam and attack you with it. So with that being said, I used the components of him and did some other stuff. So basically, he's able to use other energies, and he's now able to create weapons. Also, his crystals can now be used as controllable crystals, as in he can create the crystals from the ground itself. Also, I'm also giving him not the power to shoot them, but he can just control them and create them, forming them into giant hands or gloves even. Yeah, that sounds cool, right? So, yeah. Also, I'm also giving him the power to do a giant nuclear blast. And this is the last one. This one's going to be a supervillain. The last two are heroes. This one's going to be a villain, though. And this is Wildvine. Wildvine is one of the probably the interesting heroes from when he was 10. But Wildvine is actually with Wildvine's powers having explosive on his backs, able to become a plant, go in the ground. I think he had the power to regenerate. There's only one thing I can do. Manipulate and control plants, and also allow him to shoot, like, thorns and stuff. Also, I'm making for Den his, because I know he can't control his Venus flytrap thing. So I'm actually making it for them that he could basically go in the ground and then just stretch his body out and keep on stretching it. So basically he can attack with just the Venus flytrap. And he just sucks his head inside. Also, he can make clones of himself, too. So that's ability I'm giving him. Yeah, I decided to keep on going. I'm going to go into one more because I want to get to the last one. Not the last one, like the very last one, but there's one I want to talk about more. So this is the one for Goop. If you guys don't remember, Goop is the one that everyone says, like, the useless Ben 10 alien. Now, I believe Goop looks pretty cool, but I kind of agree. He is kind of useless a little bit. And also, there's things that don't make sense. But also, I'm not going to focus on that. So, with the power of Goop, I give you Slime. Slime is a superhero that actually that is not able to harden, but is actually able to make himself a little bit solid to the point that he has like a bouncy texture, so things bounce off of him. I do mean anything bounce off of him, so yeah. But the thing is, because full body, he'll basically will turn into a puddle, or he'll just morph himself into a ball, but he can't stay in like a human body form. So yeah, still giving him Goop's weak ability, but still he can turn to a ball and hit people though. And again, still things bounce off of him. So Swamp Fire. Now honestly, this one is pretty cool. I see this one as kind of like an interesting one, just because of the fact that Swamp Fire is this alien that technically got a blossom thing, and I want to use that one. That's the reason why you see it. And then you see the that I use Ultimate Swamp Fire, so he's able to shoot his spikes and shoot them out to make explosives. Also, he can pull off the gels and throw it too still. But the one thing I gave him one is to do like a Nightingale Blue Flame. And with the Igniting Blue Flame, and also the fact that Swamp Fire could regenerate and anything else. And he throws like these little seeds out. I'm giving him just one little simple power here. That he can basically manipulate the giant gel on his back to shoot like it's a machine gun. To shoot the giant gel explosives. And also they can be also timers. And I'm also making them for then if you shoot enough of them in a specific area, they can make a type of whirlpool or something. So yeah.
Do it. So today we are going to go through to kind of splice these up, and also because I wanted to get to the Andromeda people, because I did that too. We're going to get to this one, then we're going to get to those. Either way, this is the power of Spider Monkey. Now, by the way, I did know how to do this because yeah, I really didn't know how to do this. It was an interesting thing, and but it was kind of hard to do. Technically, DC has their own Spider Person that is now legalized because again, you can't own superpowers, so they can just they can use the power of Spider-Man but not use it. And then Marvel has Spider-Man. Hard to do that. So I kind of found a way. So in other words, say hello to name I kind of forgot. I will on YouTube. I will have the name posted up above her head. To basically that's what her name is. I had my friend help me with that one. 1 minute. So in other words, since this is supposed to be a girl who is half human, half spider-like abilities, let's just get to the animals I picked out. Here you guys go. So obviously I picked a giant collection of different spiders. Let's get to spiders. One spider is poison, so she's able to create a crimson red of poison with her webs and also just in general. This also can be increased from her body. The one with the spider with the bee patterns has electric web making. Basically, their webs are made with some electrical currents inside of it, so she can also use lightning webs. The other spider is the most armor protected bug in the world. You guys can pause this and Google search all these if you want. So her skin is completely armored and skilled and protective. Monkeys. The big black one is the loudest monkey in the world. So loud to the point that I'm pretty sure it can rupture eardrums if you get too close. So it's like a defense mechanism. The one with the two monkeys has agility, speed, and all that. So she's basically fast, agile, and has incredible agility. And the other one is a bamboo. A bamboo is apparently incredibly intelligent as a monkey. And so they're even able to understand human language and even do sign language. So in other words, she has incredible intelligence. I don't think we're going to be able to get through most of the other Andromeda characters. So I'll tell you guys this. I am technically postponing it until, and I'm going to postpone it for then we can get all those characters and to talk about their stories. So let's just get to some of these other ones. Say hello to I forget this Ben 10 alien name. Either way, this one has all magnet type abilities. Is able to manipulate metal, able to make magnet force fields. Basically, his main power is magnetism, and also the fact that his body is made out of a weird construct, so he can't die and he can breathe in space. So, with that being said, I had to figure out power for this. So for this add-on to the power, other than magnet, what I'm doing is I'm increasing the power to 1,000-fold. This magnet can move to the point that she can grab metal and people or whatever, because technically any form of level of magnetism can pull anyone. So she can basically pull everything, including a planet, towards her, but it also takes incredible focus and power. Also, again, a lot of strain to the body itself. I'm also giving her, since she is using polarity and magnets, that she's able to do this as a sort of a giant energy blast type situation. Since also the character can make force fields, I believe this can be used as a blast concept too. And also, the ability of flying was already there, so so in other words, I'm just giving her more magnet flying capabilities. So yeah. Also, there's a giant difference between her and Magneto. Since Magneto manipulates metal, she manipulates magnetism. So magnetism, metal control, two different powers. Just want to make sure that's clear. And I didn't realize I didn't do the picture one for this one, but I'll show him too. So this is for the power of clockwork. Obviously, I'm making this guy a villain. Either way, clockwork has the power to see through time passing, able to do a time blast, able to do a lot of time-based abilities, and his body is made out of a certain metal mineral that is not able to be affected by time changes itself. It was hard to give this power or something. So basically, I'm giving him more time-based abilities, able to see the past and the future, what he could have already seen, but not just by showing it, but also by doing it at the same time, by his own visuals. So basically, you can see through his eyes without showing anybody. Also, what I'm giving him is basically able to throw a giant time ball at people. He also can still do the time blast, but also I'm also allowing him to make time weapons because had to be some from a way I had to increase his power. Also, I'm giving him the power to move so fast in time, it looks like he's teleporting while he's moving around. And also for this meme effect, he also has omnipotent visual prowess, so he will know everything that's happening in the future, not even by seeing it, just by knowing it instantaneously. It basically feeds into his brain all the time. And also with the fact that he can control other people's time and also create a giant time bubble to basically freeze people in place. Oh, God. Okay. That was a lot to get through. And I can squeeze one more in here. So we are going to go with Jerry Rig. I hope I did the voice right. Jerry Rig in my eyes has super speed, and he's obviously a demon. And so, either way, this is one of the elemental demons. Villain hero, I basically make him as an all-around inventor that he uses super speed to take inventions, but also his power gives him incredible intelligence. An elemental demon means I have to give him somewhat of an elemental ability. So I was like, what ability would be suited for a man who has speed and basically incredible intelligence? I'm giving him light abilities. Basically, he can shoot people with light powers, and he can technically make himself faster. So actually, it's a great ability for him. Basically, I just made him overpowered as hell. Goddamn. So either way,
do one in the morning. So
hope you guys really enjoyed this.
So if you guys remember,
So,
I used one of the Adrenaline Boys that was a drill because there was a character in the Fist of Beyond show that had a drill. I know I haven't released a video of me talking about it. I trust me, it's gonna come, but still. So let's get to the rest of them, and all of them are gonna be sent in the army for this. Like they all work together and stuff. First of all, we have basically Turtle Gust. Not Turtle Gust, like a gust of wind. Either way, his body has been morphed to be like a human turtle thing. And obviously the Benton alien, he is able to spin his body and make a tornado. Obviously this one can do the same. It can also breathe underwater. Obviously it's a turtle, so you would believe this can breathe underwater. The only ability I'm giving it is the ability to change its fins into metal. Basically, when it spins around, it's also like a giant saw blade. So, it's still able to hover as just a giant saw blade. Also, it can reverse, sucking things up in the inside of his holes, kind of just suck things up, and it kind of consumes it into the body for food and nutrients. So, you know. Oh yeah, well, I already said his name, but his name would be basically Wind Gust. So we have the woman who is the electric of the team. We have Thunder Eel, or the Ghost Eel. Basically, this the alien ability is basically he's able to go inside electricity, read people's mind through electricity waves. I think he's able to shoot lightning, and I think he is able to pick things up with his electricity as well. Jesus Christ. So basically the power set of this is that I'm adding into this power, since it has a lot of water-based abilities, able to breathe for water, obviously, able to shoot lightning and other things. It's kind of hard to give someone who's already kind of full of abilities to give him something. But basically, what I'm going to give him is, how can I say this? Able to use this electricity to manipulate the water. Basically, this girl's able to use her electricity to control the water and manipulate it to move in her directions. Making bubbles are basically making giant whirlpools. If I had to give her another ability, I don't know. I think giving her ability to use her fins and shoot them out like blades is a really good idea. So I think that's the ability I'm going to give her. Is just her having like throwing fish blades gills that kind of keep on growing as she throws them, like ninja stars. And then we have who I'm calling Heat Force. Obviously, this is based off of, like I said, all the Andromeda Boys, and this one specifically is a character that is morally for, well, she can, obviously, the alien is able to, and but I basically took it out of the shell because at the end of the day, I don't really see any use for it. The shell didn't do anything. The power is really what was in it, so he's able to consume any amount of energy into his body to give him more power. He's able to shoot giant energy fire beams, able to basically it's all about shooting fire, shooting energy beams, and also able to eat any type of energy. That's also including fire energy. So I'm actually giving him the power to basically able to create fire from long distances. Basically, this girl will be able to make a ground from a mile away or thousands of spots on the ground turn to giant volcanoes shooting upwards. Uh, and to give her this one cool indie ability, yes, she can still eat energy, but also she's able to absorb it from around her just by, existing. She absorbs all the energy around her and controls it. Also, this is kind of like the only female, this is like the first female, and probably the only one I made that has such little clothing. This wasn't really intentional. I wanted to copy the design and change it a little bit. Kind of wish I gave her more clothes now, so yeah. Last one for the Andromeda Boys, Water Hazard. And obviously I fused him with this guy since they kind of have similar abilities. I have something to show about this later that we need to talk about. Either way, Water Hazard's ability, he has a strong and durable armor, he's able to close his shell. He did have eye nipples. When I did this, I didn't take that. I'm very glad I didn't. It would look probably really weird. Either way, they both have similar abilities. Um, but yeah. But with this fusion, she's able to move faster in water. She's able to basically have blitzing speed. Obviously having a massive form of consuming water in steam and other things. And two abilities that apparently Water Hazard has. Not Water Hazard. The guy with the other one. Either way, is that apparently he has the power of ice regeneration. Well, I don't know what that means. So in my eyes, I'm saying that this person with that power is able to regenerate, basically able to use her water and shoot icicles. Also, I'm also giving her the power to boil water. Number two is that it has the power to have water kinesis, basically able to manipulate water. So with all this, I'm simply giving her the power to make living creatures of water. Basically give water sentient creature sea forms. And this kind of like allows her. Also for her to manipulate her armor to turn into steel swords or weapons, since this is permanent. All their forms are permanent, by the way. Okay, this is what I wanted to show. So these are the powers of Water Hazard. You guys can pause the video and look at this. And this is basically the other one. These guys look pretty much kind of similar, but the fact is that this guy is basically just like Water Hazard, but just has so many abilities. Like, look at this. I couldn't even put them like side by side because of how many abilities this one has. These are all of his abilities. It's ridiculous. I don't think this is so obviously all these abilities are in there, only not giving water sentient life, so that's the reason why I gave that ability. That's able to manipulate the armor.
Let's go.
So yeah, I hope.
Okay, I don't think I have ever shown this one. So, and that means we'll finish this one, and I will be getting to the next line of the Ben 10 power system. So yeah, that should be really fun to do. But yeah, this one, I'm actually naming him Nano Big. Or basically, Tech Big. He's able to change his body, he's able to change his size to shrink small. When he shrinks small, he turns, well, we'll talk about. When he shrinks small, he turns into this, was basically like a flying technological body himself. Able to manipulate technology to do whatever he wants when he's inside of it, but also able to shoot energy beams, and basically he's able to turn technology into tiny nanobites. Basically, it's a little nano chip, and basically that allows him to make other things, and when he's done with them, it will just revert back to what it was originally. Probably just a little bit banged up though. Then his giant form, able to use a laser beam from his chest, head, or shoulders, able to make blades come out of his arm, and also obviously with this, I am actually giving him the ability to condense all the blast energy from all the points they can shoot it from into one strong mighty blast. But this does drain him mentally and physically. So in other words, so this is morally a one-time use. I've finished those these two power sets for the aliens just because I thought it would be looking cool. For this one, it did look cool. Well, no, not for this one. The small one looks better than this one, to be honest. And I do kind of hate it because of that. Because it just, it looks so cool. And then this one, it's not that cool. But, yeah, I like it. And honestly, yeah, Nano Big is probably one of my favorite aliens right now. I mean, not aliens, heroes. Hero. Here we go. We have, we have the I don't know the name of this alien, to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna joke with you guys. I do not know his name to the life of me. But he apparently is able to shoot like a stinky green goo of some sort at people. And so I have made that power, but I have turned it more disgusting. This is a villain, and say hello to literally sorry, his name is really hard for me to say. Throw blast, as in throw up blast. Why? Because the little bulging points I put on his body, they actually expand with the amount of liquid that it has to create more throw up, and basically they can shoot at other points. So basically, the four that are on his chest, he does have four of them. They will grow big and then push down. He also has two on his neck as well to help with that. And this one make him be able to shoot a giant glum of acid throw up, also called Hurking Breath. It's not a real power, but is referenced off of that one alien that I did. Well, hold up, give me 1 second. Not alien, but based off of a show. But just anything, check something real quick. Okay, sorry guys. I know this was no time for you guys, but I had to leave because I was like, did I already do the superpower? But no, I just thought about it so much about doing the video to the point I made myself think I did the video. Either way, he can shoot his throw-up acid out of his arms, well, hands, his tail, and also his feet. And again, Hurking Breath is just the name for it's like a power name that was given after We Can Be Heroes movie, if you guys watched that. It's not a real power, but I gave it a name. I gave it a power now. Hurking Breath. And yeah, this is a really disgusting superpower. I hate this. I am making him a villain though. This guy is a villain. A hunting villain. So he hunts people down, and basically, he's disgusting. Okay, last one now. Oh my god, this took... I should have been gotten this done, but whatever. This one, I forget this one's name too, but I have seen this one a lot. This one is just a crazy electric creature that can shoot lightning and become lightning and take control of electronics and use electricity to make things together. So I'm giving this person the superpower. So with those powers, I'm giving her the power to do one thing, that is to the power to multiply herself. Also, the power has made her mentally crazy. So basically, she's able to manipulate technology to make technology golems for her commands, but also she's able to keep on duplicating herself, and the clones can also duplicate themselves at the same time. So basically, she can make an entire army by herself. Oh yeah, I'm also giving her the power to breathe in space as well. So, yeah. I don't know why, I just thought that would be a nice touch.